Night City never sleeps. It just keeps score. The towers drip neon. The cars hum through the streets. Dashboards blank green like everything's fine. Down below, people trade hours for numbers. Performance metrics, target goals, the performance index. They call it opportunity. But what you get is never what you're promised. There's a rule you only learn after you've signed everything. The bonus isn't a reward, it's an expectation. Your manager isn't asking you to hit your bonus, they expect it, because your bonus feeds theirs, chum. Robert Greene once said to despise the free lunch. I like the guy, sharp, caught on early. In Night City, the free lunch isn't free, it's the illusion of choice, made to feel earned, made to feel deserved, just enough to keep gonk brain slotted in. I wore the fob badge, the office polo, I watched the numbers move, I waited for the payout to mean something. It never did. The spreadsheet didn't measure effort, it measured obedience. And by the time I realized that, the leash was already tight as a noose. The year the bonus died. Personal story. In 2017, I thought I'd made it. The starting pay was $15.50 an hour, above average back then. But that wasn't the hook. The bonuses were. Every month, an extra $400, sometimes $800, if you hit the performance metrics. There were raises too, real ones. 3% of the time, compounding, sometimes 5%. For Tier 1 tech support, it felt like a win. The work was brutal, non-stop calls, high-skill expectations. But the payoff felt real. Then came February of 2020, 1 month before the crown of lockdowns. Corporate announced a new pay structure. Base pay went up to $17.51 an hour. On paper, it looked generous. Progress. But the bonus system, it was stripped down to the frame. The ceiling dropped, the floor collapsed. $200 on the low end, $600 if everything went right. And everything never went right. They rewrote the KPIs. Hyper-technical. Razor-thin margins, metrics designed so the first bonus tier felt like a mistake you weren't supposed to make twice. Then came the line they rehearsed. You're getting paid more now. That's when it clicked. We weren't being rewarded, we were being offset. The bonus wasn't gone, it was just turned into leverage. Just like Night City.
No one talks about how we spent 13 to 20 years in a row worrying and stressing about trying to get good grades when it all got us the same exact thing. It got us an hour commute each way, Monday through Friday. It got us 40 hours a week in a cubicle, spending more time with people that we don't like than the people at home we actually love. It got us annual wage increases of like 2% when real inflation is something like 5 to 10%, not the one they tell you, but the one that actually exists. And that salary I mentioned, yeah, you can't afford to buy a house with it. Not even close. All of those teachers, all of those family friends, all of those grandparents, all of those school counselors, they all told you the same thing. Just study hard, just get good grades, and you'll be successful. The only success that brings is 40 to 50 years of youthful dreams traded away for like 10 to 15 years of retirement once you're too old to even enjoy it. For some people, that kind of made sense when you could actually afford things. But now, it doesn't make any sense at all. So again, how come no one talks about how badly everyone was tricked? About how badly everyone got screwed over for listening to the advice of, hey, good grade.
The Mirage of the bonus. In Night City, bonuses aren't generosity, they're scripts, contracts coded in expectation, not care. Regina Jones sends a ping, do a few more gigs, I'll make it worth your while. Wakako promises a cherry on top, if you stay useful. Even Militech's Meredith Stout dangles extra pay, only if you play the cards exactly right. Outside the game, the pattern repeats. Tech firms, warehouses, call centers, they could pay more, guaranteed. They choose not to. Because a high base wage is an obligation. A bonus, that's control. It's how they make you chase your tail, stay longer, accept less, believe you earned it, even when you didn't.
They got you by the balls.
Bonuses as behavioral control. So why not just raise the base pay? Why the theatrics, bonuses, tiers, KPIs, performance flags? The answer is simple. Control. In Night City, nothing motivates a worker like desperation. Fixers don't pay up front. They pay after the job. Corporate execs don't hand out promotions. They dangle them behind impossible projects. Everything is performance-based, because nothing is guaranteed. That's not a flaw. That's the design. Bonuses create anxiety. They feel like progress without ever becoming security. Because if you knew what you were actually worth, you might stop trying to earn permission to be paid. And this isn't just fiction. In the real world, bonuses run on variable reward systems. The same mechanism casinos use to keep people pulling the lever. Hit the goal. Maybe you get paid, maybe you don't. So you try again. One more month. One more quarter. One more call. Maybe this time they'll notice. And when you burn out, when the numbers finally break you, there's always another merc, another netrunner, another Tier 1 support rep ready to chase the same dangling payout. Disposable heroes, competing for breadcrumbs in a system that never planned to let anyone win. The original Grift, tipping culture. They like to tell you tipping is about gratitude, that it's polite, that it's optional, that it's a choice. That's bullshit. Tipping wasn't born out of kindness, it was born out of avoidance. After the Civil War, the American Civil War, millions of freed slaves entered an economy that had no intention of paying them. So America found a workaround. No wages, no guarantees, just incentive. Railroads, hotels, restaurants, entire industries looked at newly freed workers and said, you can earn if someone feels generous. And just like that, the wages disappeared. They didn't call it exploitation, they called it opportunity. The customer became the employer. The worker absorbed the risk. The owner kept the profit. Funny how the oldest tricks still work. Sound familiar? Fast forward a century, or in this case past a century, more than past a century. The tip jar becomes a button. The button becomes a pop-up. The pop-up becomes a guilt prompt on your phone. Would you like to add a little extra? Support your driver. Help your courier. Same system, new interface. They tell you base pay is fair. They tell you bonuses are rewards. They tell you tips are optional. But when tips disappear, so does the income. That's not a bonus. That's the wage wearing a mask. This is the illusion of incentive. When companies stop paying workers directly, they don't remove labor costs. They export them to customers, to algorithms, and to social pressures. And the trick works because they convinced you it was generosity. Here's the truth they don't want you to see. When wages disappear, incentives appear. And when incentives appear, control follows.
Hey, do you have that report ready?
The Dow right now is over $50,000. I don't know why you're laughing.
What real compensation should look like. The lie corporations sell is that performance-based pay is fair, that bonuses are a choice, yours to earn. They're not. A truly equitable system doesn't run on bribes. It runs on transparency, stability, and trust. Base pay should reflect the value of the work, not the mood of the metric gods, not a dashboard, and not a quarterly slide deck. If a company can afford a $600 bonus, it can afford to pay $3 more an hour and offer quarterly bonuses as they're supposed to be, extra, not leverage. Incentives should come after security, not instead of it. Even in Night City's broken ecosystem, some of the most honest exchanges happen on the streets. Nomads understand mutual aid. You pull your weight, you're covered. Fixers like Rogue might cheat you, but never behind a contract. There's no illusion, no fake gratitude, no performance theater, just terms. And when the terms are clear, so is power. Conclusion. You were never in control. We live in a world like Night City, where corporations shape your livelihood with incentives designed to keep you from asking one simple question. Why not just pay me what I'm worth? The bonus isn't a gift. It's a performance drug, a behavioral nudge, a paycheck on a string. And the moment you stop chasing it, the moment you start demanding clarity, consistency, dignity, that's when they get nervous. Because bonuses don't build loyalty, they delay rebellion. In Night City, your eddies are digital, your labor is invisible, your value is negotiable. But your obedience, that's the most profitable product of all. The future isn't underpaid, it's overcontrolled. And if we don't change course, we all end up like Corporal V, living for the next bonus, dying for the next promise. Because in the end, it was never about the reward. It was always about the leash. If you chooms enjoyed this video, give it a like, subscribe for more, click on that bell so you know the deets on my next videos. So until next time, same handsome fixer, and same nerdy choom in this cyberpunk dystopia.
We have some news right now. The Dow Jones Industrial Average has fallen below 50,000. That's all. Carry on with your days.
He is the most transparent president in the nation's history. And none of them asked Merrick Garland over the last 4 years one word about Jeffrey Epstein. How ironic is that? You know why? Because Donald Trump, the Dow right now is over $50,000. I don't know why you're laughing. The Dow